so it's very stressful for us to be here. So we will thank you very much to invite us to Indaba to present our work. It's very a pleasure for us. It's the first time in South Africa and in Cape Town. I want to tell you, as you can hear, we are French. So it means it's not a cliche. French are really bad in English and with a bad accent, but be indulgent, and we try to make the best for you. And so the 5 Designers is a design studio based in Paris, and we are 4. Vincent, Jean-Sébastien, Anthony, and Claire.
It's clear? 5.5, 4 people? That's the start of the problems.
And we have a different approach at the studio, two approach of design. We try to be a laboratory of experience design. We try always to question our job. And we work also for brands, and we try to make the links between these two approaches every day. So we meet us at school 5 years ago. But what is important for us this year is that we are 5.5 years old in April, and we celebrate our birthday in Milano's week.
So you are all welcome for the party.
To drink champagne and yeah, we met at school in Paris together.
Yeah, we met at school. And so
I will go on this side.
First. Okay. Yeah, we studied industrial design. And so when I say that, I mean we are able to design a technical product like a drill or car, anyway. And we had notes that actually, I think, here I want to present this schema. It's an important schema for our lecture. It's the product life cycle. And the design is here, between the marketing department and the technical development. And I think nowadays 99% of designers are in this situation, in this position. And I want to say that they try to give a good answer to a brief, but they don't write this brief. They don't participate to the reflection. And I think this position is not good because it slows down creativity, it blocks creativity. And the designer is like a pawn, and it executes what the marketing wants. So, we disagree with this process because it creates a monolithic offer. Actually, we think that all the products are the same in the market. And so it's difficult to express himself when I create a shape. So that's why I think designers create just a style, and they try to find a way to express him, and it's a crazy style and something very freestyle and with no sense, because he's prisoner between these two departments. And this system creates the full product, like this stupid butter stick. I never tried it, but I'm sure it's stupid.
It's wrong. We all use that in France.
Yeah, I think. But also this system
always more bigger, always more technology, always more bigger, and so you have also prices war. So I think prices war is the enemy of innovation, because instead of be creative and try to design with intelligence, company go west in delocalization in order to stay competitive and to make cheaper products. But design is really an asset for the company to stay competitive, and because it gives added value when it's a good design. It gives added value to your products, and it permits to differentiate you from the competition.
And also we think that this system creates a dehumanization of our production. The workers are like machines, and they ask to do exactly the same thing every day with the same gesture, and we think it's not the good way. So, and the system is this overproduction creates a society of waste. So, and this is the main cause of the global warming we are actually living. And this global warming, I think it's the main cause of the
But what
the
is
sea rise.
The problem is the Tower Eiffel is in danger, you know?
And you know
that we are really proud of
Yeah.
France, of our Eiffel Tower, so we'll fight design to save the Eiffel Tower.
Yeah, we want to save the Eiffel Tower, that's why we practice this job. No, more seriously, we think that this system can erase our biodiversity and maybe one day the human race. So we have to be attention, to be careful about this system. So Philip Stark say design is totally useless.
Another French guy, we were reading his book
I don't know if
when
you
we
know
were
Philip
students,
Stark,
you know. For us it's quite impressive to listen to that.
And he says he wants to stop this job because it's completely useless. So we're happy because we can take the...
We studied during 5 years and at the end it's useless. So what to do?
And so now what we can do? Shall we stop? and go to the mountain to
raise
I don't remember the word to raise gods.
There is only
and to make cheese, French cheese, good French cheese. Maybe it could be a solution.
on the picture you only have Jean-Sébastien because Claire, Vincent and me are running after the chip everywhere, you know.
No, more seriously, we don't want to stop because we trust in creativity and we think the design is useless when you practice with the schemas that we present some slides before. And I don't know if you know this sentence, but I think it's very important. You can be part of the solution if you are not part of the problem. And we think that we are the problem. I'm sure the design is the problem, maybe. And the design may be the problem. No, it's not. We have to understand that to find new way to practice our job. And in all of our work, we try to find new way to practice our job. But in this sense, it's completely a research part because we don't know, but we want to change something. So now we can talk about our project, about design.
Yeah.
And in each of our project, we try to move this cursor, this red pastille, and to find new element for design, new place for design, a new role, a new position. So this is the schema of our Reanim project, and we decide to work at the end of the process, when the product is done.
Over. In a way, the first project we're talking about is actually the first product of 5.5 designers, and it's where we meet, and it's the first thing we did just after exiting school. The thing is that we just passed our exam in June and decided to make this project to see how it was possible to consider the product at the end of his life instead of just working on the development of a new product. Because of course, when you talk about environmental problems, you can talk about recycling, about green products, but how to do with all these products that are recyclable and that we don't care about? Because all around us, we have products with this green label. You can recycle it, but do you really recycle it? If the system is ready for that, it's not yet, I think, ready. And what to do with all this waste that we have. So we try to focus on the furniture and notice that this market was first a market of equipment. We were buying tables because we need tables. We were buying chairs because we needed chairs. And now we are more in the sort of renewal market. You can't repair your furniture. Now it's broken, you go to the shop, you buy a new one. You don't care about that. And so what to do with all this furniture that you can find in the street? So the thing we decided to do is to focus on this problem and try to think with a design industrial point of view. Because a lot of people already work on recycling thing or just reuse one piece to make another piece. But you probably have a bottle transformed into a lamp somewhere in your place. And, but how to make it relevant and make it in systemizing the production. So we took a radical approach and decided to create a new discipline named the medicine of objects, that we set different hospitals in different towns and invited people to bring their own furniture, collect furniture that we find in streets, in dumps and so on, and cure them like we were curing people. So the goal is not here to just replace and re-give a new life to the object with the existing shape that it has, but using some treatment kits that we designed to make their life progressing. So in each time we did this hospital, people were invited to come. We were all dressed in doctors and were in charge of all the furniture. So it was possible for you to follow all the process. And the treatment kits we developed are on number 4. So you have the first one, which is the sitting prosthesis that you can put on each chair that you have a problem with that. You also have the graph kit, allowing you to compose objects that don't match usually together. You also have the crutch, allowing you to replace the leg which is broken. And you also have the suture kit, allowing you to replace the doors that are broken or need to be replaced. So more to just focus on the result of each pieces. The idea was really to make this project real and show that it was possible to do something. So of course, to be really efficient, it has to be produced in mass market and be useful for everyone. But here, what we decided to do is to deliver these treatment kits, allowing you to treat your own furniture. And in that way, it's possible to reintegrate in the market products that were in the direction of the waste into the new production. And it's what is quite interesting to see how, with a small and radical work, you can just change the regard you have on the previous object before.
Yeah, because nowadays nothing exists to repair this furniture. So another project, Claire?
Yes.
Alors, where do you place the design point here?
Around the commercial launch, around communication, distribution. Yeah, the next project that we present you is an incredible story. At the beginning of 5.5, a famous French tableware company contacted us to design a range of tableware in plastic. They produce glass, but they asked us to, in the brief, marketing brief, they asked us to make it in plastic. And after two years of work, they decide to stop the commercial launch, 15 days before the launch, the press launch. So, you know, when you do projects, it's you can imagine it's stop. It's a project live, so you can have different reasons. It could be for political reason, for a technical reason, but the scandal was everything was produced, and it represents 45,000 products.
How many?
45,000.
We will ask some questions at the end, so please.
And they say, okay.
You can win 5 products. Maybe one of these 45 products.
And we say, okay, you want to stop, but what we do with all these products? And they said, I think the best thing is to rebuild, to destroy them.
Yeah.
Okay.
With a bulldozer.
You completely.
And they invite us to see the picture of the destruction.
So we say you're completely crazy. You pay for the production, for packaging, everything is ready. You want to stop like this, and you want to pay for destroy them. And we say like this, okay, we can buy it. We take everything. And we can look after what we can do with that.
Because when you are a designer, you can see this kind of scandal, but you could say, oh, I'm just the designer, I did my job before, and it's not my job to imagine a new way to sell these products. But we didn't want to do that, and we tried to make a project to try to find a new way to sell these products.
Yeah, they say, okay, we can sell it if you want to buy it. It's not a problem. So we
Take
okay.
it.
And yeah, we create an event. It's called Save a Product for €1, and it's a big selling where people can come to save a product just for €1, and we tell all the story to the people in order to
Sensibilize.
Yeah, sensibilize people. And it was amazing project because people were completely crazy. They stay 1 hour and a half in the queue, you know, and so we do it. We did it 2 times, and the next time is in Milan. Yeah, the goal of this project was just to save the product, give a chance to be alive and to exist, you know.
Not because to make money.
They kill the baby. Everything was made, and you have just to. So.
And we hope that if people know the story of these products, they will keep them a long time, and we hope that they will not want to throw it just after 1 or 2 years. And it's why we really want to tell this story.
So, and we create stickers with a label, Save a Product, and each product is stick and signed by 5.5. So you can buy a product designed for only €1. It's possible.
As Claire said at the beginning of the lecture, we like to describe the studio as a kind of design laboratory where we can work for companies, and we can also work in parallel for ourselves and develop experimental projects. And this project is one of this kind of projects. The starting point was how can we create a strong link between the user and the product. And we wanted to make some products as a painter could make a portrait. We wanted to make very personalized products, and it was not just a way to create new products, but it was also a new way to sell the products. And this project is cloning. It's inspired by the cloning process, and we use physical data of people to create a product at your own image. For example, so we use the measurements of people, the size, the weight, the hairdress, the color of the eyes to create products. The first one is a vase. To make this vase, we invite people to take the measurements of their body, 3 for the man and 4 for the ladies, and these measurements give the shape of a vase that will be made by a craftsman. So each product is different for each people. So the first one is from me. I'm very thin. The second one is he comes from a strong guy, and the last one from a pregnant woman. This coat hanger was made from the size of people, and we made a pillow from the weight of people. So more your weight is, more the pillow is big.
It's an elastic textile, and it grows. The pillow grows.
So it's better to be bigger,
Yeah.
you know.
What is important is it's not just an experimental project, because it's a real service. If you go to our website, you can download this paper and send us a picture of your eyes. And after that, we will send the picture of your eyes to a glass blower in Murano in Italy, and he will try to reproduce the color of your eyes. This cup, the process is finger cloning. We use the fingerprint of people to design the handle of a cup. So if you take the handle with 4 fingers or 2 fingers, it's always different.
And we cook after the porcelain.
And the last one is the posture cloning. Posture cloning is made with a technology of pressure caption. Yes, caption. And,
Depend of your eyes. And the way of you sit.
And the way that you sit, because if you cross your leg, the seat will be different. It will be like the stool in the middle, because the lady crosses her legs.
And if you are like this, if you prefer like this, it's completely different than like this, like this, and like this, like this.
In this project, we didn't. When we design, we don't like the idea that design is style, and the designer must define an aesthetic and say, I know what is beautiful, I know what is good, and I make some products, and people should like it.
Maybe we think that because we are a team, and Vincent prefers the blue, and I prefer the yellow. And
it's
Claire
really
the green.
hard when we work together to say which color is better, which shape is better. So most of the time we try
Fight us.
to...
We fight us.
We fight, yes. And after the fight, we define process that will give the shape of the product. And we like also to involve people, to involve the user in the process of the product. This project is Les vis de la déco. It means
It's impossible
decoration
to do it.
vices, no. And it's more a question than an industrial product. The question is that sometimes when you are a designer, a company, in this example, a cutlery company could call you to create a new range of cutlery, and 1 year later they could call you again and say, oh, we would like to make a new collection with you because the last one is old-fashioned. And it's really hard because our job is not to make style and create always new shape. So with this project, we just make the functional part of the product, and we give it to people, and people can make the style of their own products.
And they can change when they want, and if they are...
Actually, the robot sits perfect for the chocolate mousse.
And when, in their opinion, the product is old-fashioned, no problem, they can change it.
And they keep the functional part of the object.
Of course, that's a question. It's not an industrial product, but we can have the same way of thinking in industrial production. For example, this furniture is called furniture to garden, and it's a concrete furniture. It's a kind of half a product. The product is not finished, and people have to finish it in gardening a plant inside the pot at the back of the chair. So we can imagine as many chairs as plants.
Yeah. And you put something alive, the furniture become alive, and we need to cut it, to put water inside, and it grow and it change in time. And I think it's a good way to create a link between consumer and product, because you can see your furniture evaluate in time.
And the other project we will show after was a quite big question for us, because we don't have a specific style. I mean about graphics, shapes or forms or what else. And one day someone asked us to design wallpapers.
And we didn't want to create a pattern and say, oh, this pattern is beautiful, you should have it in your home. We wanted that people draw. Our dream was we would like that people draw on their walls, but of course it's not possible. Nobody wants to draw on the wall. So we made a trick to help them to do it. And we create 3 wallpapers, 3 wallpaper games, and in playing, people draw the pattern of the wallpaper. The first one is a hidden word, the second one is a labyrinth, and the third one, I don't know the name in English.
Tic-tac-toe.
Tac-toe?
Tic-tac-toe.
Tic-tac-toe.
Tic-tac.
In French, it's morpion. And it's a real industrial product that we made with one of the bigger wallpaper company in France. It's not just with this kind of project we don't. It's not just involve people in the process of creation, but also involve people in the process of production. Because we think that we can produce products in other ways that industry can do now. And Anthony will speak about that.
So here the red point is on the upper right corner, as you see. And the thing is that when we were thinking about what kind of freedom we can leave to people to finish their object, we tried to think about how it was possible to put this freedom into the production. We met a company named Bernardo, which is a porcelain luxury manufacturer in France, who sells really amazing tableware, all this in the perfect porcelain, golden, all this really nice. And we were introduced to work with them for an event to promote the porcelain. So we weren't directly in touch with the Bernardo factory, but with the foundation Bernardo. And the thing is that usually the foundation gives the opportunity to allow the artist to use porcelain as the primary material to promote it. But it was the first time that product designers was involved in this foundation. So in one hand, we were free to do what we wanted, and on the other, we didn't know what to do. So we say, let's go and visit the factory, and the products were...
to visit the factory.
So we started from the visit of this factory, and were really amazed about the people we met there, because we were thinking that all was machines and mass productions to make all this perfect product, but at each step you have one guy who is working here since like between 15 to 40 years, doing the same thing. It needs like 3 years to make just the perfect pattern. You need to be 4 years of practice to make a gesture. And all those things are invisible in the production because it's so perfect that you can't see that in his ear. So we were thinking, in one hand, we don't have the idea of the perfect shape for them. And the other hand, we have all those workers who have all this knowledge and this know-how about how the porcelain works. So the thing we decided is, instead of sending them drawings, we send them a project with this story, with the translation. It was like, Florence, if you were able to put the handle where you want, where will you put it? And now, imagine that nothing is forbidden and that you can do what you want. Perhaps we can put more. Let's try and see what happens. So we went into the factory. Mr. Bernardo gave us the key like that and say, play and see what happens. And we went in this factory, close to each workers, and designed with them directly on the production line. So you have to imagine that you have the pieces, and we just change one thing, and after the pieces continue this normal progression. So, for example, that the calibration unit, where usually you press you put some porcelain in it. You have this part who press it and form the ball. And here you can have on the upper right corner some spaghettis in porcelain. And the thing is that, for example, we decided to repeat all those porcelain spaghetti in the molding. So between each between each ball that you produce, you can produce this ball, which is always different. On the other side, you have a bowl where we decided to divide the porcelain pane in two parts. So it makes two balls like this. We also work on another step for the garnishing unit with all the handles. So you have to imagine that in the production, all the handles are always somewhere now. And there is those four cups, with the French cup. Which are always in production, and in this project it was also really a human relationship, because they were all like 40, 50, 60 years old. We were like almost 24, 25. We were here, so like their children, like running everywhere in the factory, and it has allowed us to make a real link between people who are working in the factory without knowing each other neither, because now they were like, okay, where's the handle? You put the handle here. How I put the gold? So okay, and at each step they were looking at that, and they learned from each other too, and just that was amazing for us. But another story, for example. Okay, my God. So now we go fast. But this step is important, so I will explain it. No, but at each time we present this project, it was a way to put the workers really in front of us, and it's something we think it's really important to know now that those people have really a lot of power in their hand, and that they are not exploited like they have to be. They can be expressed, they can express themselves in this sort of production, and we have to give freedom to them, because it's what brings the originality and what is luxury product, but it's also what can be designed, and it has to be to put human in the product and not just serial producing like this.
We work for, I would like to talk about a clean collection. It's a project we made with Enkidu. Enkidu is the name of the brand, but Enkidu, it's only one man, this man, Cyril Delage. He can be compared to Robin Hood, maybe, because he lives in the forest and he cultivates the wood, and he transforms it. He makes objects, sometimes he creates objects, and he sells objects. This man is the system, you know, he do everything. And we want to work with him because we like his philosophy. And we make a workshop, and we learn to transform this wood, it's chestnut wood, and we make some experience with how to join it, how to fix it, how to curve it, to turn. And at the end, we decided to create a range for cleaning stuff, home cleaning, because, and also because we think in this kind of industry, the people think they want always to make a better price, and they want and this approach, it's really not good for the product, because when you buy a broom, it's a broom, yeah. You are not happy with your broom. You say, "Oh no, yeah, look my broom. It's a functional product," and you put in the cupboard, and okay, when it's consumed, you change and you buy another one, and you have to create this link between everyday object, functional object, and this stick, wood stick. And we are very interesting to find a new way, a new feel for design. And we think...
yeah, because many companies today doesn't use design like a leverage of innovation. There is lots of things to do. And the next project is the last project. Is very interesting for that, because we work for 3M, the big group, American group, for the brand Scotch-Brite. And we put this slide because this is 50 years of innovation. So you see it's a rectangular or a wave sponge, or you have different color, and so... So, and
it's pink for the lady.
Thank you.
But not blue for the men.
Because in these companies, the innovation was only about the material and the technology, and also about the marketing, but never about design.
Yeah, they are real technical approach with engineers, and they just focus on the scraper and the efficiency of scraper. And we said, but for user, we can do something for them. And they asked us to work for communication for them. It was not for, it was for their birthday, the 50th birthday, and just to do something around sponge, but we were really free. So we proposed house sponges with different sponge, which each corresponds to a place in the house. So it just to create no confusion when you use it.
Can be helpful if you use the toilets for Tupperware, you know.
But you know, on the supermarket, you can see different, on the packaging, it's always right if it's for bathroom or something else. And we just try to give the evidence of the product. So just to give a visibility to this technical innovation. So yeah, it was a good experience because it made a big buzz, press buzz. They were just wanted that, and but a distributor contacted us to have it on the mass market. So it is Carrefour. So Carrefour asked us to convince Scotch-Brite to produce them, but not in limited, very big. So it's. You know, it's up and down wall for us because we manage between two company, Carrefour, big and Scotch-Brite, and we are just 5 between them. Okay, so perhaps you can do it. So this is for the moment it's not made, but we hope we
work on it.
Yeah, we work on it.
So now,
where the designer should work? We don't really know. We don't know if to work after the development, before the development, after the commercial launch is better. We don't know. But when we experiment this different way of design, we build a kind of toolbox, a kind of creative toolbox to design and to answer to the different problems that industrial can have. And
There is no good method, we think.
There is not a unique method. I think for each project we need to apply a new method to understand, to analyze, and to challenge the brief that we have. And we try always to find our place in this system and in this process. And I think we can be everywhere, but just a part. And we want to work in team. And we
are sure about one thing: the place of the designer is not only between the marketing team and the production team. And too often we can hear that a designer can critique the marketing team and say, "Oh, they understand nothing about creation," or the marketing team could say,
they are artists,
they are artists, they are completely crazy, and we think that we have to stop to think like that and try to learn the language of other departments, how they work, and work together.
And we know that's also a perfect time now, because we know that there are a lot of crises, environmental, economical, and so on, and that's a perfect time to reinvent our job, to find new way to
with our toolbox
to apply it, and so we just try to find new tools to go ahead. But the thing is sure that it's something where we have a lot of pleasure to do. We know that we can bring pleasure and share pleasure doing project together. It's just a story of talkings. It's just a story of being together and think together and be intelligent together. When I say that, I don't say the four of us. We know that French are pretentious, but I say with people we will work with. And I think it's in that way that thinking together we can reinvent things. And perhaps it's because we are young, I don't know, but for sure we have to continue to go ahead and to see what happens.
Yeah.
Just that.
So, thank you.
Thank you.
This is the saw, this is the hammer, and the screwdriver, and
the box.
And the box. Thank you.